Yeah.
Next question from Mattia asks, as a drummer who's never actually gigged before, how do I start getting out there and getting gigs? Which is a very appropriate question as gigs start to happen more prevalently.
Yeah, they are coming back a bit, right?
We're very excited.
Interesting. Well, yeah, okay. So I got most of my gigs, I don't want to say pre-internet, but like early, a little before the internet. So it's an interesting one for me. So the biggest thing with finding any gig is going to be networking. It's that portion of the music industry, that sector of the music industry where it's just networking. That's what it comes down to, right? It's who you know and you know, putting yourself out there, for a lack of better words. So social media definitely has changed that since I was in the gigging world, because I have no idea how many bands have been formed via Instagram DM, but it's probably a lot. So that's a great way to go about that for sure. But I also think like going to shows would be a really big one, especially if the bands that you're going to see are like music for musicians. So good example, Animals as Leaders. Like, how many people do you think play music in the audience? Like, it's at least half. It's at least half, right? And you already got the genre thing out of the way, because if you wanted to start a metal band, well, all the people who play metal locally are very likely at that show. At least a ton of them are. So that takes a lot of effort on your part. I mean, you got to go into full extrovert mode to go to a show with the intention of meeting people and starting a band with them. You really got to go out and make that happen. So that's definitely a harder one, but it has the highest likelihood of success, I think, for sure. Another way to do it where bands form a ton are any type of social groups where you might meet up. So like church is really like a hack for that one. That's a big one. Or bars, like anywhere that facilitates like small talk conversations where friend groups kind of merge around. Any of that sort of stuff, that's where you'll make a lot of those connections. But it's much like finding students and building a roster of students. Like, there is not one thing that's going to do it. There's not some hack. There's no magic trick. It's really just doing a combination of things. But I would say the best thing you could do for yourself would be to put on your extrovert hat and really, really try to make some friends locally, whether it be at shows or at church or at bars or anywhere where you might meet people your age that have similar interests. And again, the show is the easiest one if you go to a show, because you're filtering down to like the musicians, you know? You could go to a bar and meet a bunch of cool people and none of them play music. So I would say being an extrovert at a show is by far the best way to do it. And the other way would be like forums. If you can find an online community, like Drummers of Central Florida might be a Facebook group somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
It could technically be our Facebook group that existed.
I guess it could. Yeah. But,
man.
That sort of thing, right? Or also, I'm just like talking out loud here, but like, if you know anyone in a band locally, like anyone at all, they know other bands, and other bands often need musicians.
Yeah,
so if you can get in those social circles, that would be helpful, you know?
Yeah. Shout out, by the way, to Music for Musicians based in Orlando, Sunstrife, buddy Kevin's band.
All right. You told about Kevin, yeah.
Yeah. Go to shows with him, and everybody's a musician there. You meet people.
Yeah.
You know, a few times it's like, oh, this is Chris. He plays drums as well.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, you drummer? That's cool.
Yeah, that's all it takes sometimes, right? Oh, you play drums? Oh, do me get
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, cool. Like, what kind of stuff? I play guitar. Like, a little bit.
Yeah.
And you get, the people that aren't playing that show that week. They're playing next week or something like that. And of course, you meet people. It's a good thing. Be social, I think, is the short answer to that.
Yeah.
Be social.
As best you can.
Outside the internet.
Yeah.
And inside the internet.
Sure.
I don't know. It all works.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Orlando Drummer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are in any way looking to make yourself a better drummer online, which you probably are, it's why you click this video, make sure to click this link up here, wherever it is, orlandodrummer.com. It's an online drum school in the style of Netflix. Trust me, you will find something you like, but don't take my word for it. 7-day free trial at the link in the description. Make sure to sign up for that. See if you like it. We'd love to have you on board. Thanks, guys.